Welcome back, everybody, for your daily dose of MSG. I'm your host, Mr. Spicy, and we are back again today for another Empyrion Galactic Survival Workshop Showcase. Now, I've got 3 interesting vessels for you today, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at those. I have a capital vessel, a hover vessel, and a small vessel. We're going to start with the small vessel, because this is actually one I've been considering building for myself in my survival game, because it comes with a massive number of cargo spaces, and that is perfect for deconstructing like a base. Alright, so this is a dropship, and it is actually the Manta DS Mark II Black Edition. You can actually get another one that is white on the outside that, depends on what your preference is. I like the darker color. I think it looks better. But it is a dropship with the theme of it being a troop dropship. Obviously, you got a lot of seats for people. Let's see, we've got fridges here so they grab some food before they leave. That's the O2 tanks. Here's the O2 station. So you got 2 O2 stations on the sides. And here is the massive cargo. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a row, and that's a row. So that's 30 cargo boxes right there. And oh, we got some more up here. That's some extra ones. We've got multiple constructors. You got multiple armor lockers, which would make sense if it was to be a dropship for a lot of people. You need, multiple armor lockers for the troops. And you don't have just one way in or out. You have at least a couple of extra spots you can climb in and out of. Well, I say climb in and out of. I'm having a little problem getting up that spot. Yep, you got the same thing over here. Let's see, that's just a wall. Alright, we got some beds. So, a dropship, I guess, with that many seats, you're not meant to be sleeping here. This might be kind of more of like infirmary kind of thing. But O2 station, we got cargo boxes for each of these. And 2 fridges there. And let's see what we got over here. Okay, now this is kind of a, makes me think Millennium Falcon, the board game they're playing. They're all just kind of hanging out there. You got 2 fridges in here. This, to me, seems a little out of place with it being a dropship, like you should be. It's just for troop transport. That seems a little out of place to me. And of course, then we have our pilot and our co-pilot. And we've got another side door to get out. So you've got multiple places to go in and out of on this thing. So, if you're doing like a big faction thing and you want a way to transport a bunch of your people in one go and have everybody just kind of run out guns blazing, this might be for you. I don't see it being useful to me in my game. And apparently that's the toilet. Right there. I mean, the cargo space is nice, but that's 30. There's 2 more there. That's 4. That's 34. And then there's the ones back here and everything. It's supposed to be 55 containers total. And yeah, 55 cargo boxes right there. 18 ammo boxes. Whole bunch of manual doors. It's nice, but I don't want to have to sit there and put a lot of... I don't want to have to go here and be hitting this to open up my cargo boxes. I mean, that's nice. I got 30 right there, but now that I've been playing with like my modified one, I don't see any time I'm going to need 30 containers total. Alright, so first off, we have got homing missiles. We have rail guns. We have plasma charge guns. We have regular rocket launchers. And we have Gatling guns. This thing would take up a significant amount of space in any kind of cargo hold. I'm not even sure if I can get it to fit into the cargo hold on this. And this thing has a massive cargo hold. Yeah, it is just barely too big to even fit in that cargo hold. And look at the size of that capital vessel. This is definitely one you're going to need some kind of a big just landing platform probably. If you're going to use this in your survival game, you're probably going to need some kind of capital vessel with a massive landing platform. But that is the Manta DS Mark II Black, and I will have a link for it below in the description. Okay, now, second today, we have the Thanatos Assault Vessel. It's a hover tank. That's what it is. Look at this thing. It is very similar to the tank, the Thunder tank I am using in my survival game. Actually, it may be almost themed around it is what it looks like. It's got different coloration and it looks a little different on the outside. It doesn't have the little cargo access points on the outside. So I definitely say, unless you like the look of this, you might want to check out the Thunder tank that I use in my survival series, because that is, I like it better so far. It has more functionality for cargo, but let's take a look inside. Okay, so we are inside, and as you can see, we've got 3 chairs, so you can have friends sit and control the turrets. We've got some cargo boxes, we've got ammo boxes. I like how we got this cover in front of a screen. We can't see what the screen says. Oh wait, never mind. It's the doors just sitting open. Alright, so at least it tells you what you need for ammo. We got armor locker, and we got fridge, constructor, more, pretty much the same. This, I mean, you got ventilator cord, all that, and you got fuel tanks and oxygen tanks back here. You got that, but you don't have a lot of storage. So I definitely am still, it looks nice, and it feels more spacious than the Thunder tank, but I still like the Thunder tank better overall than I like this one so far. Okay, well, I was at least able to get that one to fit in the smaller hangar, and the smaller hangar is the smaller one. I mean, look at this. This thing is a massive hangar, and that ship would not fit in it. So you are definitely, if you want to build that Manta dropship, you are going to need a very large cargo space, or just a very large landing pad somewhere on your vessel. Okay, so now we are on the PSI Ilmarinen mining barge. I think I'm saying that right. That's the way it's spelled and sounds right to me. So it's the PSI Ilmarinen mining barge, heavy mining barge. And this is not exactly a maneuverable ship. So do not see this as an assault vessel. It's, as the name says, a mining barge. So we're going to take it up into space and put it to use at what it's designed to be used for. Okay, so we are here and up in space. I've already parked it up on an asteroid, and there's a lot of interesting things here. You got switches here. I don't think they seem to actually do anything. There's kind of there up or down, but we are on the flight deck. All right, so we're here. We got these upper areas here. You can walk out, make sure you have your helmet on if you're going to do this, and you can look down. Just take a look at this thing. I mean, this thing is massive. Part of the reason why it probably turns so slow. And fly along it, you can see, oh, we've got a launching pad here. And you see, this says hover vessel. And look at that. Now, this is where you're meant to have your hover vessels. And honestly, I don't know how well this is going to work on that. I mean, you've got tons of spots to launch vessels from, like these spots for hover vessels. You got repair bay down here. You can launch all sorts of hover vessels from here. And you, of course, could probably find some way to drive one. I mean, I guess if you really wanted to, make it where you could drive one out that way and drop down. And here you got a way to drop down from, like, there. I'm assuming that there's some reason why you would have a hover vessel that can fly, so you could get from there up to here. I don't know. But you got all these bays. It's set up here like you got hover vessels that I guess would just dock up here. And you can see where, this is the front of the ship. And that's not too far off the ground. But if you're going to be docking, well, actually, look, you're not going to be able to get that. Yeah, look how high off the ground you would have to be to get up there. That is way up there. You'd have to have some kind of hover vessel that can launch way up to get there. So I don't really see how well this would work as a hover vessel kind of runway track. But we've got that. We also have this, which is kind of the central feature of it, the big mining ring, because this is designed to be an asteroid miner. And you see you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of these mining turrets around the area. And if you come here, you've got multiple chairs here. I don't see it being good for a single player, just because 1, it's going to take a lot of resources to build it. 2, you don't need this for 1 person. Well, here we are. All right, next level down is captain's quarters, and the captain has got some nice digs. He is set up. Look at all these cargo spaces just for him. He's got the perfect viewpoint out. He's got his captain's chair here where he can sit and watch operations. He can sit and watch somebody else, like the co-pilot, fly it wherever, and he could just be chilling in his chair with his feet up, watching them go. So coming down next one, we've got the crew quarters. You can see here you got plenty of bunk beds. Everything is done aesthetically to what it would be. You've got O2 station. You got all these, closets. We've got bathrooms, shower combos. So yeah, it's set up just right. And then the next level down we have are what it says hydroponics. You got some cargo boxes, you got food processors, you got fridges, and you got a lot of growing plots on each level. And see that you got a row there, you've got a row there, and then you've got a group right here. So you can have a nicely separated set of things. So if you want to have, like, if you have a smaller set of stuff that you only need a few plants of, you can put them in that middle section. So now here is the, like other tech stuff, observation deck. You see a gravity generator. We've got some other stuff like that. You can look out and see there, or you can actually walk on out. And this is how you get to this point where you are one of the ones controlling this. Of course, technically you can control it from inside too. But if that's what you want to do, you can come here and do this. Now we're going to go down to the main deck and mess halls. Alright, so we are in the main deck mess halls area. And there's actually 2 mess halls that are identical on each side. So you come in, you've got, food processor, you got fridge, you got toilets for when you get indigestion. You got all that, and you got one on each side. You got starboard and port. Then you come up this way. This actually goes out towards the mining rig, and you got this that you can actually walk around the whole ring. Now we are in maintenance, and you see we've got constructors, we've got cargo, we've got one of the hangar doors, and you see this hangar door is one of the ones that's kind of off to the side. It's not one of the big hangars. It's just one that's off to the side. We got armor lockers. We got a bunch more here. You can go up here and you can see this is like the lower mining ring. So we're actually underneath a whole bunch of stuff. You got landing pads, stuff like that. It's very well laid out, and you got directions for everything. So you don't have to try and remember which way is which. Second floor, we got med bay, which they did all the right things, all the extra stuff like the scanners and things. So you come out in here and get rid of your parasites and such as that. And of course, every one of these sections has a nice little spot to look out the window and see everything in space. Because for the most part, I'm going to say you probably would use this mostly in space. It's just there's the power drain would be too much on a planet. You're talking about, a lot of power drain on a planet, as well as it just not being very maneuverable. It's very sluggish. But we have here, so if you are on a planet, you can, walk out, and we're kind of on the lower level section now. So going back up to level 4, we don't just have the mess halls here. This is where we actually connect out into the big areas. Here is the big cargo bay that we found, or actually this may be the smaller one. Let me see. No, it's got to be the big one, because the big one we couldn't fit anything in. The smaller one we fit that in. So yeah, this is what brings you to the back of the ship, where you have that, and you can see we've got turrets here. We've got all sorts of stuff. Also on this side of the ship, you have a bunch of walkways outside where you can walk around. It's just kind of for decoration. There's not really that much out here that you're going to be doing, but you've got, you know, for aesthetic purposes, it's got all this stuff out here, and you can come out here and walk around if you want to, on planet, on, out in space like I'm doing here. But overall, this is a very nicely done capital vessel as far as the whole theme of it. Utility wise, for a single player, I don't see it unless you just want to, build it for fun. I don't really see you piloting it. I don't really even see it being piloted down to a planet surface all that much because it's so sluggish. You're not going to be able to maneuver very well. And, it's going to be hard to find a landing spot that's level enough for it to really land because it's so long. It's definitely fits to the theme of it being a large mining barge, and that's what it is called. Once again, all the designs will have links to them below in the description, so if you want to check those out on Steam Workshop, I encourage you to do that. But that's going to be it for today's workshop showcase episode. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and you tick subscribe and get the little notification bell so you get notified during the week when I'm posting. Leave a comment if you like these vessels. If there's vessels you want to recommend me checking out in a future episode for the showcase, I'll do that. So make sure you leave a comment below. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter as well, so you can keep up with stuff there. There is some stuff I sometimes post on there that doesn't go on YouTube, so you can keep up to date with things there. And as always, I'm your host, Mr. Spicy, and thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.